All right, so quantum computing, huh? Been making a lot of noise lately, like it's going to change everything. But what if the real key to unlocking that potential, like actually solving impossible problems, what if it's closer than we think?
Well, that's exactly the question after Microsoft's announcement, about creating topological qubits. And that's why you've asked us to take a deep dive here. Really look at their claims, the press release, their Nature paper, and what everyone's saying, all the physicists weighing in.
Right, right. I mean, our listeners know about qubits, the building blocks of quantum computers, but these topological qubits, they're supposedly different. Way more stable, right? So why is that such a big deal?
Well, stability, you see, that's the holy grail, for quantum computing at least. Regular qubits, super sensitive to any noise, and it just throws off all the calculations. Imagine trying to solve some complicated equation, but your calculator keeps changing the numbers.
Yeah, total chaos. You wouldn't get anything done.
Exactly. But these topological qubits, theoretically at least, they're much more resistant to that noise. Microsoft uses this analogy. It's like links in a chain. Doesn't matter how much you twist or turn them, they stay connected. And the information, it's encoded in those connections. Much harder to disrupt.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what evidence do they have? I mean, does Microsoft actually have proof they made these super stable qubits?
Well, they've built this device, right? It uses a superconducting nanowire. It's made of indium arsenide. And their goal is to harness these particles, these Majorana quasiparticles, and they exist kind of, well, at both ends of the nanowire at the same time.
Hold on, particles in two places at once. That's quantum for ya.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And that's what makes them so interesting, for quantum computing. So they introduced an extra electron into this nanowire, and their measurements, what they're seeing, suggests that the electron is being shared between the two Majorana quasiparticles. That shared state, that's the key to how a topological qubit would work.
Sounds promising. But are physicists, convinced? Are they buying it?
I'd say there's definitely a lot of show me out there. Stephen Simon over at Oxford thinks the results looks pretty good, but he's not celebrating just yet. And then you have others, Daniel Loss at the University of Basel. He's much more critical, basically saying, don't call it a breakthrough until you show us a qubit actually working, doing its thing.
Yeah, I'm sensing some skepticism, and for good reason, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's history here. A few years back, a Microsoft-funded team had to retract a similar claim about creating Majorana states. It's like that saying, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice."
Shame on me. So what do they have to do? What's Microsoft's next move to win everyone over?
Well, they put out a roadmap for scaling up the system and actually showing quantum calculations using these logical qubits. It's not just talk. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and their argument is the more tests they do, the harder it'll be to explain their results without topological states being involved.
Okay, so a little put up or shut up going on here. But even if they pull it off, why should we care? What does this mean for someone who isn't a physicist?
Well, if this is real, this could really accelerate the development of practical quantum computers. And that means we could see a real impact sooner than we think. We're talking about solving problems that even the most powerful computers today they can't touch.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Medicine, materials, AI, but that's still pretty broad. Can you give me something concrete, something that really gets across the potential?
Okay, so imagine personalized cancer treatments, right? Designed by a quantum computer, tailored to your specific genetic code. Or how about super efficient solar panels that capture energy like we've never seen before, all thanks to materials designed at the atomic level. That's just a glimpse, of what the future could hold with these powerful quantum computers.
All right, you got my attention. Starting to feel less like science fiction and more like, well, the future's knocking. But we've only scratched the surface here, right? What else is in this stack of research?
Well, we need to really dig into those expert opinions, the excitement, but also the concerns. Some physicists are raising some specific technical challenges that Microsoft still has to address.
Okay, let's get into that. What are those hurdles, and how do they play into the bigger picture of quantum computing? So we're back, and you've brought all this expert commentary. Some are excited, others not so much. Seems like a lot of wait and see. What are some of the technical challenges that keep popping up?
Well, one of the biggest hurdles is actually just proving you've created a topological qubit. You can't just look at it under a microscope, right? You need to demonstrate that it has these specific properties that we expect, like that incredible stability, that resistance to noise.
So how do you test that? What are physicists looking for?
Well, a few things. One is measuring how long the qubit can hold on to its quantum state. It's called coherence time. And theoretically, these topological qubits, they should have much longer coherence times than regular qubits.
Okay, so that's one test. Anything else?
Yeah, you also want to show that you can, manipulate the qubit, do operations on it, but without introducing errors. And that's crucial, right? If you actually want to use the qubit to compute.
And these tests, I'm guessing they're not exactly easy?
No, not at all. I mean, it requires incredibly precise control over the experimental setup, like down to the atomic level. And then you need to be able to pick out the signal that you're looking for from all the noise in the system. It's a huge technical challenge.
So even if Microsoft's results are right, there's still so much work to do before we have a real working topological qubit, let alone a quantum computer built with these things, right?
Oh, absolutely. But even the people who are skeptical about Microsoft's specific claim, they acknowledge how important this research is. The potential payoff, it's just too big to ignore.
Okay, let's talk about that payoff. We keep talking about these world-changing applications, but honestly, it's starting to sound a little like, quantum computers will cure cancer, solve world hunger, and we'll all have flying cars. Like the typical hype cycle. Are we getting a little ahead of ourselves here?
It's a good point. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of hype around quantum computing, and it's important to be realistic about the timeline and the challenges, but the potential is real.
So what are some concrete applications that might actually be within reach, say in the next, I don't know, 10, 20 years, if this technology keeps developing?
Well, let's start with something kind of straightforward. Materials design. Quantum computers could completely change our ability to create new materials with specific properties. Imagine designing superconductors that work at room temperature. That would revolutionize energy transmission, or catalysts that can capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Help mitigate climate change.
Wow, those are some impactful examples. This is going way beyond just like, small improvements. We're talking about totally new possibilities. What else is out there?
Well, drug discovery is another big one. Right now, developing new drugs, it's a long process. It's expensive, a lot of trial and error. But a quantum computer could simulate the interactions between molecules so accurately that we could design drugs that are more effective with fewer side effects.
So we're talking personalized medicine, not just an idea, but reality, thanks to quantum computing.
Exactly. And even beyond that, you have this whole field of quantum algorithms. These are algorithms that are made to run specifically on quantum computers. And they have the potential to just revolutionize things like optimization, machine learning, cryptography.
Yeah, I'm getting the sense that we're really just scratching the surface. There's this whole universe of possibilities out there. But we have to be realistic, right? There's still so much we don't know. So many challenges.
For sure. One of the big questions is scalability. Even if we can, make these individual topological qubits and they're stable and reliable, can we build a system with thousands, millions of them? That's what we would need for really complex calculations.
That sounds pretty hard.
It is, yeah. We need breakthroughs not just in qubit design, but also in engineering manufacturing. How do you control and manipulate millions of these tiny qubits? Keep them cold enough and connect them all together, but in a way that doesn't mess with their quantum properties. These are all these are questions that researchers are working on right now.
So it's not just a race to build the best qubit. It's also about solving all these engineering and scalability challenges. This is a pretty exciting field to be in.
Oh yeah, there's this feeling, right, that we're on the edge of something really revolutionary. Even if it takes longer than people hope, the journey itself is going to be amazing.
All right, so we talked about the potential, the challenges, all the excitement around quantum computing. But I'm curious, what about the downsides? We hear so much about the positives, but what about the risks? What keeps you up at night when you think about the future of this technology?
That's a really great question, and it's something we should all be asking. One of the most immediate concerns is the impact on cybersecurity.
Okay, tell me more about that. Why is cybersecurity such a big concern when it comes to quantum computing? We were just talking about the downsides, of quantum computing and how cybersecurity is kind of a big concern. Can you unpack that a little? Why is this such a worry?
Well, think about it. A lot of our security online, it relies on these encryption algorithms. And for regular computers, classical computers, it's basically impossible to break them. It would take, I don't know, years, centuries even to crack the code.
But quantum computers, they could change that, huh?
Yeah. There are these quantum algorithms, specifically Shor's algorithm, and they're designed to factor these huge numbers, but exponentially faster than classical algorithms. So that means a quantum computer, if it's powerful enough, it could potentially break the encryption that protects everything: our online banking, our emails, even government communications.
It's like giving someone a master key to all our secrets. That's a little scary, honestly.
Yeah, it is, and it's not just, hypothetical. It's something that people are already working on. Organizations, governments, they're trying to develop this quantum-resistant cryptography to prepare for when this happens. It's a race against time in a way.
Wow, this is a good reminder that this technology, it's not just about cool gadgets and science. We're talking about reshaping our entire digital world.
Exactly. And cybersecurity, that's just one example. There are, these broader societal implications too. Like as quantum computers get more powerful, they could start automating tasks that humans do now. And that could lead to job displacement in certain sectors.
Right. We've seen this happen with other technologies. Automation always has a ripple effect. So what can we do about it? I mean, to deal with these potential downsides. Is it all bad? Or is there a way to use quantum computing responsibly?
I'm an optimist. I think with some careful planning and open discussion, we can navigate these challenges. The key is to start thinking about them now, not wait until they become huge problems. We need to invest in education and training to prepare people for the quantum era. And we need, scientists, policymakers, industry leaders, they all need to work together to develop ethical guidelines for how this technology is developed and used.
So it's not just about the science, it's about dealing with the social and ethical impacts too.
Exactly. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of quantum computing. And that actually leads me to a final thought, a question for you and our listeners.
All right, lay it on me. What's the big question?
We've talked about, quantum computing solving all these big problems, revolutionizing industries, maybe even changing how we understand the universe. But beyond all that, what personal problem, big or small, would you want to see solved with the help of a quantum computer?
Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, it's hard to even imagine the possibilities when we're talking about such a different kind of computing. But it's definitely something to think about. Maybe a quantum app that can finally organize my inbox. It's a mess. Or maybe something a little more, world changing.
Maybe both. That's the amazing thing about this moment. The potential is so vast. It's like uncharted territory. We can really let our imaginations run wild. And who knows, maybe one of our listeners will be inspired to actually make those quantum dreams a reality.
That's a great point. This has been a really amazing deep dive. We've explored the science, the potential, the challenges, and all the broader implications of quantum computing. It's clear that we're on the edge of something huge, and the journey, it's going to be fascinating, exciting, and maybe even a little scary at times.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a journey that we're all taking together. And as we go into this uncharted territory, it's important to remember that the power of this technology, it's in our hands. It's up to us to shape the future and make sure that it benefits everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep your minds open to the infinite possibilities of the quantum world.